My name is Patrick. I'm from the Froome Men's Shed, but in this capacity, I'm a member of the Health and Wellbeing Advisory Group, which is a group of shed ambassadors working for the UKMSA Association, giving advice on and information on health and wellbeing matters. Well, it was sponsored by the UKMSA Association. We actually launched just pre-COVID, and so we've been meeting on Zoom for the past 2.5 years, so we're delighted to be back here at ShedFest with face-to-face with people. So that's probably why you've not heard of us. To provide information to sheds and the Men's Shed Association on matters regarding health and well-being. And those matters today probably are dealing with things like dementia, social prescribing, arthritis and mental health matters. You'd be staggered by the conversations that have been had at this table this morning with regards to all kinds of matters of cancer and bereavement and mental health. And it just helps people talk about it. Just having material on the table helps people talk about their conditions, which is helpful in its own right. Yeah, it's giving permission to speak about it. And once one person is given permission to speak, someone else will come in with another comment. It just an hour ago, I handed out some of the hand cream, the face cream that we were donated to one of the exhibitors, and he immediately started talking about his daughter who had cancer and how that was valuable. And so those things just help the conversations. Huge amounts of input about health and well-being, mainly around how do we solve this problem, how do we solve that problem, and what our goal is to gather the information that sheds have got and that they need help on, because the sheds. There was a shed here earlier talking about how they'd set up a workshop for people with dementia, and they've been running it for 4 years. And so we've had a large group of people just listening to that shed talking about it. So it's about sharing information and sharing experiences. It is fantastic to be back face to face with people. One of the weird things I found is that you meet people on Zoom over the last 2.5 years, and suddenly you realise they're much taller than they look on television, or much shorter, which is great. But it's fantastic to see people. I think the keynote speech from Sir David Spiegelhalter was absolutely fantastic. I mean, it was emotional, it was interesting, it was informative, and it was humorous. Fantastic. And given that it was the first time he'd given that speech, tremendous. Go to the shed. I have never known anybody come to a shed and not bring something out from that particular meeting. Talk to people, and don't be afraid to pick up the phone and talk to any shed countrywide and ask them for their experiences. They'll be very open to speak to you. I frequently get on the phone to sheds across the world, and I've never come across a shed that isn't happy to talk to each other and to contribute. Right now, to be honest with you, we just want to get people understanding there's a group that's working on health and well-being, and then just wait for the inputs to come. I mean, one of the things we learned today, because we put up an article from The Guardian, and the guy said, "Blimey, that's so-and-so's daughter. I know Andy. I never knew we had a shedder whose daughter works for The Guardian, So you get all kinds of information like that, which is valuable. And that's really just raise the awareness. That's what we're trying to do.